Now, high school football season kicks off tomorrow, but for many parents, there are several concerns if players are being pushed too hard.
This comes after recent deaths by players across the country, including a Maryland player last month and a 13-year-old Texas player who died after practice yesterday. 41 Sports Director Mick Schaefer talked to several local coaches on how far is too far for these young athletes.
That corner's got to be thrown sooner.
It's Tony Severino's 49th year in coaching.
Perfect. There you go.
Which means football was a little different when he was playing.
We used to walk out and have salt tablet bins and used to grab them and take them.
He doesn't even remember water being on the practice field.
We were just too stupid to know any different.
Times have, of course, changed. Mostly.
The university accepts legal and moral responsibility.
In May, Maryland offensive lineman Jordan McNair was hospitalized after a workout. He died 2 weeks later of heat stroke. His body temperature was 106 degrees.
There are no words to say to Jordan's parents that are good enough.
Maryland placed head coach DJ Durkin on administrative leave, acknowledging mistakes were made by his training staff that day.
3, 1, 2, 3.
It's a scandal that resonates everywhere.
It's always on the back of our minds as coaches.
That's it. Back in KC, high schools have often set the pace in football safety. Water breaks are almost a thing of the past.
We tell our guys if they need a drink, pop their helmet and go get a drink.
They can have water whenever they want it.
And it used to be, you had to run to get water back in the day, but now it's water's a constant.
As for the heat, Kansas and Missouri high school associations require practices to begin to be modified once the heat index reaches 90 degrees. And new this year, both states instituted summer heat acclimation periods.
The state does a good job with their heat acclimation rules, and we've adhered to them as we always do.
Acacia does a good job having every coach take a heat illness class every year.
Needed precautions in a sport where the difference between preparation and overdoing it is such a fine line.
You're kind of right there on the edge of, I want to push through the sprint, I want to be tough, I want to show up for my team, I want to show up for my coaches, but we have to be smart.
With the medical information out these days, it's pretty hard not to take care of your kids and know how to do it.
It takes more than salt tablets these days.
You can push them, but you just got to have common sense.
Well, and that's the biggest thing, as Coach Sev says, if you're hot as a coach, the players are going to be hot as well. And according to research at the University of North Carolina, there have been 30 heat-related deaths in football in the last 10 years, but only 6 of those have been at the college level. So the Jordan McNair tragedy, very rare, very avoidable too, though.
There is so much scrutiny now on the game of football, frankly all sports now, but especially football from the youth level all the way to the NFL. We see that in the league playing out. The question is, and you mentioned it in the story, it is a fine line, even from a player standpoint and a coach's standpoint.
A lot of times the same path that can take you to greatness and make you tough and make you good at this game is also the same path that can lead you to danger. You, yourself included, not just the coaches, need to kind of know where to strike that balance.
It's hard to know sometimes, even as an adult, let alone as a student.
Right. When to push and when not.
Right.